it's the English Simmer here, and I hope you're all excited because The Sims have just released a brand new trailer. This is, of course, the official gameplay trailer for the brand new expansion, Lovestruck, which basically, if you don't know, gameplay trailers kind of go over a little bit more detail, the kind of things that you can expect to see within the pack. The reveal trailer kind of just gives like a cute little story and then also little like hints as to what is coming. Gameplay trailer gets really into the meat of it all. What I'm hoping to get from this trailer is more about the dynamics. Obviously, I do think they're going to work like growing together, but it would be quite nice just to like see maybe how those work in game. Turn-ons and turn-offs, how they actually work. I think there's definitely systems in this pack that need explaining a little bit more. Like when I first watched it, I was like, okay, like I'm glad that we're getting these things, but they're kind of like surface level. So I was waiting for the gameplay trailer to actually give us more of an idea as to what's gone into making this an expansion pack. Aw, Karina. The Sims are really, really cute. Not sat in the bar where everyone else. Not the ooh, but I do like that they kind of have a system where you can kind of become like get to know someone better before you're like comfortable with romantic. Okay, so this is kind of like my wedding stories, like that system, the date planning system, the friend date.
Maybe don't bring your mom to the first.
No, stop it. Can we do that? Ooh. I like that interaction. That shot was cool. No way. Is she pretending? That's his mum. She's pretending to get a call from someone, being like, I need to run. Ooh, they both like physical intimacy, I want to say. Likes mixology. Okay, so it's like skills.
Actively making out in public.
Hey. Let them live. Oh, I kind of don't want to pause yet. I'm not so sure about. They kind of have like 2 turn-ons each and then also 1 turn-off.
Pretty open about his various relationships, but it seems like she might not be cool with that.
I mean, that's valid. Oh, and she is. Oh, Siggy girl.
Pay attention to your partner. Put the effort in.
Romantic repair date? Oh, there's the motel.
Level up your romance skill whenever you can. I'm talking gifts, flirting, fun games in the bedroom.
I can't get over the park couple. So there is a wishing well. I called it. I knew that they were gonna do that. Okay, that went into some of the stuff that I wanted it to. Let's check it out in further detail. I mean, first off the bat, the world does look stunning. Let's get that over with, all right? It looks very good. Trying not to go like over everything that we've kind of already talked about in the reveal trailer. Like I talked about like build and buy mode and also like create a sim a fair bit. So that was a breakup, it looked like. I do have to give a shout out to those jeans though, because those are a little bit sexy if you ask me. The dude just chilling on the dating app whilst everyone else is like talking to each other is relatable. I feel like there's always one person like in a club that's like that, which honestly does creep me out personally a little bit, because it feels like they've just gone there to then have the location set. He describes himself as creative and romantically reserved. Yoltic, I'm assuming this is his name. Love the little rings. They're really, really cute. Little cheeky thumb ring there. Why is that so me coded? Looks like you can choose your picture and then you can also choose your traits. I so hope catfishing is available. I would prefer it if you could also like choose another Sims picture. I think that would be so funny, because in The Sims 3 you could only change your traits. You couldn't actually change like the way that that you looked on the dating app. This trait, the romantically reserved, obviously it talks about you need to make a connection with someone first, like a bond, before you have that like physical spark. Definitely feels like demisexual representation to me, which is really, really lovely. I kind of think unflirty is like more asexual to me. Obviously, everything is a spectrum, and that is a very like broad statement to cover those bases. Everyone has their own different like boundaries within that, but it feels like on like surface level that this is being inclusive of demisexuals, which I personally think is really cool. The Google definition of demisexuality is a sexual orientation in which a person feels sexually attracted to someone only after they've developed a close emotional bond with them. Is a loner, which is apparently, oh, that's a turn on for Yoltic. Trying to figure out like what sexual chemistry is like linked to. Traits is definitely up there. Snob is a turn off. Why is a snob holding a fish? I'm sorry, Zoe, but that's not adding up. That feels like a catfish and you're holding a catfish. That feels suspicious. Is that a new chest tattoo? Oh my god, she's stunning. Turn on, clumsy, little Liberty Lee. Okay, so it just gives you the world in which they live when it comes to location. They are in Willow Creek. You can save your matches, add to contacts, which I really, really love. I love how you can basically add them. I'm assuming that adds just a little bit of friendship in your relationship panel. Barely acquaintances, but just so you can get in contact with them easier. I've said this before, a lot of people have compared a dating profile to Social Bunny that we got in high school years. You actually already need to be like know someone to add them on Social Bunny. So this removes that element, hence why I don't think this is the same. This kind of feels like you also don't really talk on this app. Like it's not like Social Bunny where you send messages or like can tag each other. This really just seems like, let me add you to my contacts. You know, it's like moving it over to WhatsApp, and then you can also suggest to create a date. You can also delete them, it looks like, from your saved. So this is the date planning system. This is definitely what reminded me of my wedding stories. Complete goals during the get to know you date. So there's different types of dates, which I like. I mean, I do feel like the dating system has needed an update. I've recently made a video about how I think events could be changed within the game, and this seems to be taking like some of that, because when it came to dates I was like, I wish it kind of depended more on the location, and that changed like the things that you had to do, and this feels like it could be scratching that surface. Based on the activities you choose, these can be completed by your host sim around the venue of your choosing. Gold level rewards include a new item. Maybe sparks will fly, or maybe the flames will fizzle out. It's time to uncover whether there's potential for romance between your sims by getting to know each other better. Or maybe your sims are already head over heels and a casual date is just what they need to deepen their bond. It's bound to be an unforgettable adventure. So you can, again, just choose goals and rewards the way you've always been able to do in events. This feels more like an event than just like going on a date. I know when you go on a date, you do get like the event pop up in the top left-hand corner, but this feels like more like a birthday or a wedding. It feels like you're choosing the activities and then that will actually have an effect on what actually like pops up here, kind of like my wedding stories does. A romantic date and romantic repair. That's what we saw with Bob and Eliza. They, I think, probably have a strained relationship, which makes sense because the pancakes definitely don't always see eye to eye. This suit is a serve. So we have nightclub, gym, lounge, and park. I'm not seeing like hotel, motel, holiday inn, and it definitely looked like a rabbit hole. Socialize, be romantic, be friendly, be funny, drinks, food, physical intimacy, woohoo! Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. I'm fairly sure you could also just choose to have like a date in your home. Like I'm fairly sure Willow Creek was listed, like Oasis Springs. It doesn't have actually like house here listed, so I don't know about that. Imagine just being like, hey, I want a casual date. You want to come on over for a woohoo? Just TV. I love how it's not like watch TV or like talk about TV shows. It's just TV. I have drinks, I have woohoo, I have TV on head. I wish I knew more. They're not gonna scroll down the absolute tease. Another food stall, a classic. Of course, we're getting another food stall. Maybe you're both foodies or into gym dates. I love that you can have dates at the gym. That's actually kind of a little bit sick. It feels like they're adding a little bit more personality into how your Sims kind of resemble what they're into. And then it looks like you can also maybe have friend dates. Maybe you can have like non-romantic dates. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I imagine this new stargazing is just like tied to the pack and then the old one is still tied to outdoor retreat, but it does feel weird that we have two different variations of stargazing now. Not that I'm complaining, because I do think this one personally looks a little bit better. Hopefully it's gonna work a little bit better. I like how they can have a conversation. Do I think that they're gonna be able to have a conversation about certain things? Like, do I think you're just gonna be able to sit down and like cuddle on the floor whilst then also dictating what they talk about? I highly doubt it, because we still cannot, hopefully it gets updated pre-patch of this pack coming out, we can't even relax on the bed and have a conversation with each other. So I think this is just going to be a stargazing or cloud gazing interaction, which makes me sad, but that could potentially me being a pessimist. She doesn't like gluttonous Sims, so that's another trait dislike. I feel like I noticed some other ones. I do like that shot. She's not really feeling romantically attracted to him. They don't really have chemistry. Ooh, they were on that picnic blanket, like eating. Again, that's gonna work because we have a picnic blanket in cottage living. I still find it weird how they've got like different pieces of packs like rolled into this one. I love how it looks like she's faking a call to get out of a date. I hope that's a thing that you can do. I kind of love that. She's like, oh, I gotta go. It's an emergency. The curved pool. I know we talked about that, but I feel like I have to put it out there for everyone. It looks like they wanted to add a massage table in here so bad, but they were like, we can't false advertise. That comes in spa day. So let's just put this little like futon down here instead. I think this is physical intimacy. From the icon that I can remember in the game, I think this is where we're starting to see a little bit more of like the chemistry system. We've seen a lot of traits, but this suggests to me that, is it part of growing together? The like things that you enjoy, not hobbies, but the kind of things that add to your like dynamic in growing together. Oh yeah, I forgot that there's a romance skill. Is it Wonderful Whims that has the romance skill in it? I don't know. I've just played with a bunch of romance mods and I know that one of them had it in. She also likes people who are good at mixology, I want to say, or like who do mixology. I wish it was like good, because I feel like that would be more endearing. Like maybe if you chose to like someone who is bad at mixology, you could be like, oh, they're a little bit of a dog. But I just think it's gonna work if you do this activity, then they are attracted more to you. This might be jokes or like humorous. I can't really remember the icon for that, but it definitely feels like a lot of like the things that are included under like hobbies and interests do also play a role alongside traits, which is nice to see. Don likes woohoo. He likes the color red in clothing. Yeah, see, that confirms it. I think every single option that we have under like those interests and hobbies are gonna be available as turn-ons and turn-offs for your Sims, which is pretty cool. She doesn't like woohoo. She's not attracted to woohoo. He's not attracted to smart or like hardworking, maybe, but she is. So they definitely have a little bit of mismatching going on. All they really have in common is they both like the color red. And of course, a woman wearing red walks straight in and Don's like, that girl is more up my alley. I want to know what this is. Is this like body jewels or is this just attached to this top? Also, love this necklace. I've been wanting a necklace like this for a really long time. Right, too many of these Sims have their exes tattooed on their arms. I know that this is a trailer and they're just trying to show off all the assets. Fucking love this suit. Oh, give me a good old suit. He just booped her nose instead of going in for a kiss. That's a cute little interaction. But then obviously they start to like lose interest with each other. Yeah, that's absolutely a rabbit hole. The way that they faded into that hotel. Why does this feel so mean? I personally would have been more offended if they had given us like a working hotel after we had just got for rent. Like, I know there is a possibility that the for rent system that they've worked off has now maybe given them the opportunity to actually expand upon hotels, and maybe eventually we will get that. But I feel like having those in back-to-back expansions, like for rent and then working hotels, would have felt more like a backstab to me personally. But I am kind of sad that it is just gonna be a rabbit hole like the Batu ones. Like, you can see people like having woohoo and stuff, but really, what else is it gonna do? I guess when your Sims woohoo, this is like the animation that plays out. I knew that they were gonna do this. I feel so proud that I called this, but I was like, romantic garden stuff has literally just been available for free, I think, towards the beginning of this year. And with the big fountain, I feel like they were drawing too much attention to the really big fountain. I would not be shocked if they gave us a way to wish. So it looks like she's made a wish for maybe like a soulmate, and then the sim has like appeared behind her, which, I mean, I'm not mad about, but again, that just feels like something from another pack, you know? I don't actually know how a wishing for soulmate, if that goes well, actually works in Romantic Garden. Maybe I should do a video on that before this pack comes out so that we can kind of remind ourselves. Don is literally getting with everyone. He's asking for a little kiss. Loving the tattoos that we seem to be getting in this pack. I don't know if the rose one on the hand is new. I don't think it is. I think that came with the base game update. But there's like neck tattoos. There's a big back tattoo. There's the crossed out like names. There's the chest piece. Really, it seems to be getting some really good tattoos, which I'm very, very excited for. Plan dates with fun Sims and discover what makes Sims swoon in Lovestruck, launching July 25th. Finding dates for your Sims has never been easier. Open the new dating app and create a profile. You'll take a selfie to use as a profile pic and choose which of your Sims traits. That's sad, because I feel like if you're actually physically taking the selfie, that means you're not going to be able to do like the fish pose, because that's not available as like a selfie thing. Unless maybe they have like different poses set up than what we are used to seeing. Choose which of your Sims traits you want to highlight. Potentially catfishing, because that's how it worked in The Sims 3. You chose what traits you wanted to highlight, but you didn't have to choose your traits. Then browse through your matches. These can include both Sims in the world and Sims from the gallery. I didn't notice that last time we talked about this. Someone pointed it out in my comments. I really hope they've made enough filters to make that work. Like, I hope they just don't include custom content. Like, if you want to add custom content to a Sim, you can just do that, you know? Like, I feel like that should be opt-in. I really hope they're not like hot messes from the gallery. You never know. As well as adventurous like fishing, swimming, or stargazing. You can even that's fun, because maybe you've got like get together and you want to go on a date to the bluffs. Like diving and swimming and stuff can be used more there, which I like. I think this is going to be really, really usable. You can even invite additional Sims on your date. You can do like a double date maybe. That's cute. You can literally invite your parents on your date. Friends, potential partners, or even exes, if you like the drama, can all be invited if you want them to be. Whether your date is hot or not could come down to Sims turn-ons and turn-offs. Some of these are physical, like outfit styles or colors, but others come down to interactions and personality. Those you'll have to discover. Finding a date is easier than ever, but making relationships work, that's more of a challenge. Sims may autonomously decide to leave. That makes me think that the Sims that we're actually on a date with can choose to leave, which is so fun. We need more autonomy for Sims that we're not playing as. When Sims become romantically involved, you'll be able to see how happy they are in the relationship by checking their romance satisfaction. Okay, so I think the romance satisfaction is going to be different from the romance bar that we're used to seeing. You kind of need to put in more effort to like maybe keep your satisfaction up, and if you don't, then satisfaction certainly seems like it can go down in the case of of the pancakes. Sims can have different levels of satisfaction. What works for one sim might not work for their partner. That's kind of bringing in not like really the unrequited love, but maybe like one-sided love. Like maybe one person thinks it's going really, really well, and then the other person is like, I'm not enjoying this. Finding a partner isn't the end of your love story. Relationships will have dynamics. We're kind of used to seeing these dynamics when we play Growing Together, which can be established through the gameplay or set and create a sim exactly the same way as Growing Together. Will your sims maintain wholesome, loving relationships or happy, steamy relationships? If partners aren't kind, things could get strained. Sims can have unpredictable relationships when they switch gears on a dime. Someone has put, my main excitement is the attraction system. Really would like more details. I agree. I kind of do still wish that there were more details into the actual systems that we were getting. I feel like for Rent gameplay trailer, or I can't remember what it was called, but that actually showed off like the systems quite well. This one still feels a little like undercooked for me personally, and just what they're choosing to show, which does scare me. But they do say tune into the live stream next week, the little teasers. Definitely feels like we've only got those 4, because that's what they keep mentioning when it comes to relationship dynamics. Wholesome, steamy, strained, or unpredictable. Like I said, I would have personally liked to see more of those. I feel like there's definitely more that they could have done with these. This really got me thinking that that hotel wasn't gonna be a rabbit hole, but definitely looks that way. They didn't show anything about the career, which it's definitely not active. I feel like if it was active, they would have shown that off in the trailer. I was just trying to like watch my earlier video going over the other trailer and then going through the blog post just to see if really anything was answered. I guess the thing that was answered the most was what you can be attracted to in the chemistry system. And I'm fairly sure that's just like all the things that we've already spoken about when it comes to things that your Sims likes and dislikes. But really, I still have a lot of questions. Like I would have liked to see maybe what the dynamics do a little bit more, or kind of how unrequited love works, because they have talked about that like a little bit when it comes to like one-sided relationships, whereas it felt like the couples in this trailer were both kind of on the same level. Like I know she maybe liked Don a little bit more, but it didn't really go into that. So I am still like optimistically hopeful, but of course I will be getting my hands on this at some point and exploring all of that for you. I don't think it feels personally as strong to me as Growing Together did, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's just because some things are reminding me of my wedding stories, and therefore I'm like, whoa, I have been facing whiplash about that pack literally since it first got announced, and especially since it came out. So maybe I just have reservations based on that, but it just feels like there's certain things that I personally would have loved more to know about in this gameplay trailer that still weren't really like talked about all that much. Obviously, we aren't going to know about like polyamory or how that really works just yet, because that is part of the base game update, so they didn't include it in this trailer. Or even just how like the date planning system worked after you had planned it. It still felt like a kind of theatrical trailer where they were showing scenes, but they weren't really showing UI all that much. And I think that's what concerns me a little bit, because it's like, okay, we're getting like this new stuff, but like where's the follow through? Like what does that lead to? It just felt a bit too cinematic for me. It didn't really get into like the nitty gritty that I was kind of expecting it to when it came to like the UI systems and how that all works. But definitely let me know how you felt down below. Let me know how you feel about this pack in general. I have actually posted over on my community page 2 questions. If I do happen to get early access, of course, I will be focusing on getting answers for those. I posted one just generally about the pack, the content you would like to see. If you have any generic questions, I honestly may even do like an FAQ over some of the stuff that you lot are wanting to see. So definitely leave your questions on that one. And then there was a follow-up second question, basically talking about cross-pack compatibility, how you want me to play this with other packs that I already have in my game once we get a full release, and how that all like interconnects and works with each other. So definitely go post your thoughts on both of those, because they help me create content around a pack release. I appreciate you all so much, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.